Hey everybody, Dr. Michael Bruce, the sleep doctor here. I'm here with my new buddy Magnus, who is an amazing trainer, nutritionist, doing some incredible work out there. And so I got a big question for you. So I have a lot of fans, a lot of people who are interested. If I wanted to start a workout routine, what are the things that I need to think about?
Well, there's a couple of things. I think that we're a little too focused on always focusing on what would be the best type of training to lose the most amount of body fat or build the most muscle mass. But I really like to approach it more in a holistic way where you look at a number 1, 2, 3.
All right, let's hear it.
Your number 1 is what you like to do.
Okay.
Number 2 is what your body needs.
For sure.
Number 3 is something you want to master or get better at. And that should create your weekly program.
So that sounds very motivational to me, right? Because it's something I want to get better at. So what are some examples of some of the things that you've done with some of your clients?
Well, for example, if we take me, I love strength training, so that's my number 1. That's my foundation. I've been doing it for a long time. My number 2 is meditation, Pilates, and yoga. Really good for me. I need it.
Right.
And my number 3 is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I don't necessarily love getting my butt kicked every week, but I do want to get better at it. I want to, master it. So that's my number 1, 2, 3, and I make sure that creates my weekly programming. And I think people should look at training and health much more in that way.
I love that idea. I think for myself, I know one of the areas that I've been struggling with to learn more about is how to swim better. Because as I'm getting older, it seems like it's a much better use of my energy and a little bit better on my knees because I've been a runner for a very long time. And so that's certainly one of the areas from a mastery standpoint, I'm definitely going to need some help. That makes a lot of sense to me. So if somebody was going to say, start that idea, would it make sense for them to write some things down or maybe talk with a trainer or somebody like that? Or should people say, I'm going to pick these 3 things and then go to my trainer and help fill in the gaps?
You can do both.
Okay.
I mean, if you sit down and have an honest conversation with yourself, I think that you will probably know what number 2 is, what you need to work on.
Right.
You might need some guidance with that as well. You probably have a number 1, something that you enjoy doing,
right,
or more than other things at least. And number 3 should be a fairly easy thing as well. There's always something you want to get better at, right?
Right.
But yes, you can talk to a trainer and get that guidance as well. Sometimes if you start from scratch, you might have to start doing something to figure out your number 1 and 2.
Makes sense to me. Okay, and so nutrition. You can't avoid nutrition. It makes a lot of sense to be thinking about nutrition. So when we're thinking about starting nutrition, what are some of the initial steps that you talk about with your clients?
Well, I always say never talk about training and nutrition in the same sentence.
I love it.
You cannot outwork a bad diet. You can run a marathon and be overweight. So just because you put in the work in the gym or just because you train doesn't mean that you will lose body fat and build muscle mass.
Got it.
So I would say there's a ton of diets out there. Try to approach everything with balance. My philosophy is that 17 out of 20 meals should be on point.
Okay. 3
out of 20, you can slip up, you can enjoy life. I don't like to restrict myself.
Got it.
I love pizza, for example. A life without pizza for me would be a poor life. So instead of having it all the time, I make sure to eat really healthy 17 out of 20 meals, and I eat what I want, 3 out of 20. With that said, a healthy meal is something that's low in sugar, doesn't contain too many fast carbs,
right,
and doesn't have any processed food.
Got it. This is awesome. I love this philosophy. 17 out of 20. I think I can definitely do that. I've got my 1, 2, 3 to start. This has been fantastic. I want to thank you, Magnus. This has been really wonderful. If people want to learn more about you and your stuff, where can they find out more about you?
Well, you can go on my YouTube channel, which is Magnus Method, or my Instagram handle is the same, Magnus Method.
Fantastic. Well, thanks again for your time. I certainly appreciate it. This is Dr. Michael Bruce, the sleep doctor, wishing you sweet dreams.